Greetings, everybody. Brother Goodwin here, Prosting the Spotlight. I want to read a couple of verses for you in the book of Revelation, chapter 14. I want to begin in verse 9 and go through verse 11. Look what it says here. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And he spake of their torment ascending up forever and ever. And they gave no rest day or night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. And here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Those are some pretty amazing verses, pretty scary verses in the book of Revelation that are getting ready to be unveiled. In today's show, we're going to continue our study. I've got Dr. Hiltebittel in the studio with me again. We have been studying, giving you a summary of the book of Revelation. We've made it all the way, I think, to chapter 15 last week, and we're going to take up there. But we're going to take a little detour today as I bring Dr. Hiltebittel in, and we're going to talk about this thing called the mark of the beast. Stay tuned. All right, you're watching Prophecy in the Spotlight. Good to have you with us today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching, and it's such an important hour that we live in, such an amazing time. I'm convinced, Doc, that we're on the edge of something big.
I'm with you there.
And
yes.
It's either the rapture or it's something bad.
Yes.
I think the Lord's coming soon, but I'm not sure whether we're going to face some things globally here with our country, with the way things are going downhill.
Well, I'm confident that, and I agree as with you, I don't think there's a mile long a time between the rapture and the beginning of the tribulation.
Yeah.
So if the tribulation is going to begin, as the Bible points out, then the stage must already be prepared for that. And we're watching rapidly the world falling into position for that place.
Now you used, as a metaphor, you used a stage there. Now think about this stage. What needs to be on this stage for the end times?
Yes.
Israel has to be in their land. Mm-hmm. You can check that off.
Yes.
They got to be looking for their Messiah. You can check that off.
They're wanting to build that temple, boy.
Yeah. And you and I both know that most of the furniture,
everything is ready for it except the building.
Yeah, and the building could go up in days, or weeks from now. There's no doubt in my mind the Antichrist is going to help them with that. So these things are ready. The one world financial system, you can check that off. It's here.
It's been here a long time. It's just getting fine-tuned. Yes.
People keep saying, well, it's almost here. Well, what do you mean? I've been doing eBay for years. I buy and sell guitars on the side to help pay my bills to be in the ministry, to stay full-time. I've sold guitars to people in Moscow, Russia. And look, they don't go down to their bank and exchange their rubles into dollars. They just press the same button that I press.
It's all done electronic. It's all technology.
It's done digitally over in cyberspace and instantaneous. You think about it. You go to the post office, you mail it. And
once in a while, you'll still see somebody writing out a check. But that's 1 in a million almost, because we just stick our card.
And it's always somebody that's elderly, almost always. Yeah. Somebody elderly, like
don't
70
down that
or
road.
above.
Yeah, amen. But the stage is all but prepared in every direction. Yeah. Globally, we could easily name a half a dozen political leaders that could easily be the man of sin,
And
son
we
of perdition.
talked about that white horse in Revelation
Yep.
6. We made a big deal of that. And that's
It's-
something I think the Lord just gave me recently.
It's right there. I mean, everything is ready.
Is there
We just need to be out of here.
Is there the need for that man right now?
Not really, because the spirit of Antichrist is driving the world at the moment.
Yeah.
It's impossible for our world to be as it is mentally and political leadership. There's no way that a physical organization is putting that together. It's got to be a spirit behind it all.
At the rapture, though, that man comes on the scene in Revelation 6.
So he's got to be ready.
And at that time, the world's going to be needful of that man. Because he doesn't say, hey, let me lead you. No, they crown him.
They crowned him. They give him that crown. He didn't take it. He didn't earn it. He's given it to him.
But I think he has just done something. As we said before, I think he just came from somewhere. I think he just solved a big mess somewhere.
Well, one thing about it, he's going to be evidently appear to be a financial guru. He's going to help settle the financial books for the world. And boy, you can see everybody in the world, that's what they want.
He's going to solve the Middle East mess.
Oh, yeah, he's going to confirm the covenant.
Yeah, which we believe, you and I believe, that's confirming that all that property that God gave to Abraham, it belongs to Israel. That's going to shake some people up.
Yeah, but you got to understand the Islamic crowd. They're looking for their Mahdi or their 12th Imam, who's going to be that Antichrist. So who they're looking for and who the Jews are looking for is all one and the same individual.
And who, I hate to say it, but most Christians, as we use the term Christian today, which is generic, Christianity today is made up of a big quagmire of liberal and the real Christian people.
Bible believers.
Yeah, the Bible-believing Christian is going to be taken out.
Yes.
The Christian, as the world looks at Christians, is still here.
They're still here to be a part of that false religion. That's
sure.
And you're watching it develop right now. I mean, it is developing. And scary sometimes.
And the three world religions are all coming together.
All merging together.
And they certainly will come together at that day when the rapture happens. And well, we have been talking about the book of Revelation, and we've gone all the way from chapter 1. We're not going to give a review today like we usually do, but we've gone from chapter 1 all the way to chapter 15, and we're going to begin there again today. And I've got a verse in chapter 15 that we're going to read. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name.
It's amazing how they're all tied together.
Yeah. Now, let's go ahead and give the ending now and tell the people how does one get victory over Satan, the beast, the mark of the beast? What is it that brings this victory? Do we have to live a certain way?
It's redemption.
It is.
It's the blood of the Lamb, the blood of Christ from Calvary's cross. That's how you get victory now. That's how they'll get victory then. It's through the blood of the Lamb.
And there's no other name given among men whereby we must be saved.
None other name. That's
Jesus.
Right. Yes.
And so redemption, victory, all comes through Christ and the blood that was shed on Calvary.
But these are going to be folks in the middle of the tribulation, between the middle of the tribulation to the end of the tribulation, that it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very hard living.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, I do have a news story or two that I thought I'd read today. First of all, General Motors and Ford have just halted production as chip shortage worsens.
Yes.
Now, those are the little computer chips that go into the new trucks and cars today. And people have heard these rumors, I'm sure, but I've seen them with my own eyes.
You've seen it over here in just the edge of
Louisville
Indiana.
area. The trucks that are in the parking lots, there's no chips.
There's no chips. They're just
chips
sitting
are
there.
made in Asia. I've heard Taiwan makes chips, and they're blaming it on COVID, but I wonder.
No, I doubt it. China's the one that's really behind the chip making for.
Yeah. But not just trucks and cars, but I've told people, I said, look, when you see stuff like this, it's a warning sign. Pay attention. Wake up. Open your eyes. Open your ears. Pay attention.
Something's
going on. If there's a shortage of vehicles, and there are, I'm in the Owensboro, Kentucky area, and my wife will tell you, we drive by some of the car lots that we've gone to before.
Oh.
They're half empty.
Some around here
It
where
used
we
to be
live.
you could hardly get through that lot to look at the cars. There were so many cars. Or you could.
If some of the smaller ones have 1 or 2 cars, they're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got some friends that are in the small car deal. They go to the auction. They buy 4 or 5 cars a week, and they said it's unbelievable how expensive they are now.
It is.
And some of the.
But it all goes back to that right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I wrote on here, food shortages are coming.
Yeah.
And I've been warning people about that.
My wife and I was in the Dollar General just yesterday, and we looked down one aisle, and there was 3 packages of paper towels on a 30-foot long aisle. And other places, they're setting 2 bottles here and 1 bottle. I said, "Where's your stuff?" Said, "We can't get it. We can't get it in."
That's scary stuff right there.
Even your bigger stores like Walmart and places like that, you look close, you look behind the 2 or 3 items that's on the front of the aisle, and it's empty to the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, folks, that's a warning sign.
It's a shadow of what's to come in the tribulation
And that verse
days.
in Proverbs that I use so often, the prudent man seeth the evil coming afar off and hideth himself.
Yeah.
Now, I'll put that in perspective to this situation. Yes. The wise man sees these signs, food, not enough stuff on the shelves, not many cars.
So he prepares himself for the days to come.
Something's coming.
Yes.
Something's coming.
And it's partially, man, I had a supporter of my ministry just this week sent me a text and about they just discovered that our federal government was paying farmers to not farm their land. And I said, "Well, dear lady, I own a farm, and I grew up on a farm, and that they've been doing that for 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
But this year, the ag company, the agriculture department called me, offered me $35 an acre more than my farmer can afford to rent it for. Because the federal government is paying more than a farmer can afford to farm his land with. They're paying him more not to farm. They're going to contribute to the food shortage.
And out west, they've got the fires. They got the
the
most severe
and
drought,
the drought
maybe
out
in
there.
history.
Yes.
I saw pictures of this river in California, and they showed it over the month. And it's almost dry.
It's almost dry.
And these are warning signs.
They're all warning signs, and the Bible tells us of the things that's going to happen in the tribulation. And you're watching, I believe these are the foreshadowings of what's coming. I tell folks a lot of time, this is like Sunday school picnic to what's getting ready to come.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you're ready for what's coming.
Yeah. And it would take a whole show to tell you how to get ready, but I mean,
yes.
The minimum, get ready like a hurricane was coming.
That's right.
Or like you heard the biggest blizzard ever to hit your state is coming. What would you do?
You need to be prepared, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I just canned about 35 quarts of tomato juice a couple of days ago out of our garden. Yeah.
My wife has been canning corn and beans and stuff like that, but I feel like we're not doing enough. I'd have ammunition. Well, there's rumors about ammunition now.
Yeah.
I was just talking to my dad. He said that the president's coming after our ammo. They know they can't get our guns. They're coming for the ammo. He's going to, I don't know what he's going to do, but they're going to try to.
They've been working at that for quite a while.
One thing he said, they're buying up ammo.
I read last year when all of this was happening, one of the departments in our federal government that do not even have guns.
Starts with an I think.
And they bought millions and millions of rounds of ammunition, and they don't even have guns.
Yet. Or that we know of.
Yeah, but anyway, why did they buy them?
I think that agency
so
starts
that we
with an I, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The one you're talking about?
Yeah, something like that.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But anyway.
It's an agency, they have no need for
the stage is really being prepared, Dan.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that stage is what we've been talking about for several weeks now, the book of Revelation.
And the mark of the beast is a system. that's coming.
Well, speaking of the mark of the beast, we're going to get into that because we made it to chapter 15, the vials.
And then we realized we never said anything.
We kind of skipped over the mark of the beast because there's so much in chapter 13 of Revelation.
Yeah. We talked about the two beasts, the Antichrist and
his
false
Trinity.
religious leader and those kind of things. But there's a lot of things in our world today that's almost like what is explaining there.
Yeah, so at the end of chapter 13 of Revelation, and we didn't get to this when we hit chapter 13, but he talks about, first of all, he talks about the beast and an image to the beast.
And an image.
So let's start right there. But before I read this, so we won't be interrupted, let's go ahead and talk about the need that we have.
Okay. Yes, we do have
a
need.
About 3 or 4 weeks, we have a big TV bill coming up, and we're not there yet. We're still short several $1,000s. And so we need, many of the folks have given, many have given very generously.
And we thank you very, very much.
But we're not quite there yet, and we need a few more of you folks out there
need some folks to help us.
There's several ways you can give. You can go to the website, processingthespotlight.com. You can click the donate button, fill out the credit card information, any amount you want to give. You could also do the American package deal with Michael Smith, $50 or more. You can donate that way. That's right there on the same page. You could call the number and get a hold of me, or call the 800 number and you can donate over the phone. We'll take your credit card over the phone. You can get the address on the website and mail a check to Processing the Spotlight. Or you could, if you'd like to talk to me or Dr. Hiltebittle personally, maybe you want to give a large amount, but you'd like to talk to us about what our plans are and what's going on here, we're more than happy to do that.
Yes.
And there's nothing hidden here. We got great dreams, want to go and what we want to do, but we're just not financially able to get over that next wall that's out there. But we're going to. We're growing, and I'm convinced that we're going to expand this thing. So we need your help. We're viewer supported. Nobody gets a salary here. Nobody gives us the TV airtime for free. We have to pay for it.
That's for sure.
So we'd like you to partner with us, and we need your help. So, all right, Doc. With that out of the way, let's. We do have a prophecy conference coming up.
Yes.
October 27th through the 30th. You and I will both be speaking in Mannington, West Virginia at Calvary Baptist Church, and we'll give you more details of that later. We'll put it up on the website and Facebook and different things like that. So that's going to be a great conference.
Yes.
All right, Doc. So speaking of the mark of the beast and all this, let's start kind of where this begins here with another story that I saw. And you told me about this. And I had seen the headline, but I didn't click on it.
I've been following it 4 or 5 months.
And the article that I printed off is from May, so it's several months ago. This is from the Arizona Republic, published May 6, 2021. And it's the title of the article is this: A Giant Shape-Shifting Statue That Talks could be coming to Phoenix. Here's what we know. So they're going to be supposedly going to Phoenix. This thing, and I have a picture of it here, and I don't know if I can get it up for you, but I have a picture here. Here we go. If you can see that, this is the big man. And if you see over here, these are people over here that are operating it.
It's a 10-story stall.
This thing's huge. This is a 10-story man here. Now, he's not real. He's fake. He's made up of diodes and wires, and they build this thing as an exhibit in your city. And this kind of goes along with what we're talking about. They can make this thing talk.
But you can get in and get hooked up to it, and it becomes your image.
It becomes you.
It literally, every eye movement, every muscle movement, everything becomes you, your voice, everything on a 10-story scale. Okay, well, let's look at something in Revelation 13 here, because we're not saying that this 10-story thing is anything. But the technology that is here, if they can do it on a 10-story scale, I wonder what they could do when they bring it down to a man size. Yeah. definition.
But there is something like this going to be in the middle of tribulation.
Absolutely.
And it's in Revelation 13, at least the start of it here. So, it talks about in verse 12, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. So, it's talking about the false prophet and the Antichrist. The false prophet exercises the power of the beast.
Yes.
And he's the one that's going to do these miracles and cause fire to come down and all that. To worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, and I'm in verse 13 now, chapter 13 of Revelation. And he doeth great wonders so that he maketh fire come down from heaven. Again, this is the false prophet. In the sight of the beast, and publicly in front of people. Maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, the Antichrist, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. So in other words, the false prophet tells the people to build an image of the Antichrist, the beast.
Right.
And this that had a wound but did live. And then he goes on here and says, and he had power to give life unto the image. Again, the he here is the false prophet. Yeah. He has power given to him to give life unto the image. Now that doesn't mean he becomes human or becomes alive. It means...
But it's an image.
It's an image, and it's going to appear to be lifelike.
Right.
And our screen there appears to be lifelike, but it doesn't have life like we have life. And so it says here, and he had power to give life, verse 15, unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Yeah. And then he talks about the mark. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. Again, he's talking about this, the false prophet and the image.
It's all connected to the image and this system of worship.
This system of worship is connected to this fake thing, this image. Right. Now, I got the definition here out of Webster's 1828 dictionary for the word image. Now, realize when Noah Webster was alive, there was no
technology as we know it today.
No screens like this, no lit up statues in the middle of the square. But he understood what an image was. And an image is a representation or similitude of any person or thing.
Yes.
He says a statue, an idol, a representation of any person or thing that is an object of worship, the likeness of anything on canvas, a picture, a resemblance painted, or today we have computer screens. He didn't see that, but you could put an image.
It's an image. It's a replica of the real thing.
Yeah. Yes. And it's going to be made to talk.
Yes.
And it's going to have power to...
And we're not saying that this thing is... But the technology already exists to be able to do what the Bible said will be done.
Here's a good picture of what this thing's going to be in the end time. Now, I looked up image in the Bible. The first mention of the word image is in Genesis 1, verse 27. So God created man in his own image. Likeness. The definitions there. In the image of God created he him. We might note he went on to say, male and female created he them.
Yes.
That's important today.
Very.
And then chapter 5 of Genesis. Adam lived 130 years, verse 3. And begat a son in his own likeness, after his image. So the Bible defines the word image. It's the likeness.
Yeah. It's its own dictionary.
So there's going to be an image created during the tribulation, an image of the beast, a likeness of the beast, but it's not him. It's fake. It's computerized somehow.
And somehow or another, it's probably connected with artificial intelligence in order to be able to know who's in the worship system and who's not in the worship system, because the worship system is going to provide a lot of things. You got a list of some of the things that it's going to.
Yeah, it sounds
provide.
like this mark of the beast, this thing in your hand or forehead, chip, whatever it is going to be somehow connected to that beast. That
Somehow or
image.
another, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, because that image is going to determine who can buy or sell.
Yes.
Because that's what it says here.
Yeah.
He gave power, he gave life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image
Be killed.
of the beast should be killed. Now, how does he kill them? I don't think he zaps them. I think he cuts them out of the system.
Yeah. Well, it goes on to say, you got a list that you shared with me earlier, some things that...
Yeah, well, let me read a few of
Read
these.
some of the things that the Antichrist...
You won't be able to eat because you won't be able to go to the grocery store because you'll need this chip to go.
Yeah.
You won't be able to go to the restaurant to order a meal because you'll have to be chips to go there, and there'll be a scanner. They'll know.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be able to rent a house, buy a house, or sell a house because the financial system will be inside of that chip system or whatever it is. You won't be able to travel. You won't be able to go on a plane. Won't be able to go on a train. Won't be able to. You won't be able to buy gas because you won't have money. You'll be outside.
You got to be a part of this system in order to do all these things.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, doesn't this sound a little similar to something going on today in our world? They're talking about these passports.
Wow.
They're talking about the V passport.
Oh, the list you just mentioned wasn't the ones in the Bible. That's what's happening right now.
What I'm reading to you is about the jab. It's about it's what they're wanting to control us.
I believe we're on the road to it already there.
And you and I do not believe that this is the mark of the beast.
No,
because we just read about the mark of the beast. It's connected to this image.
Yeah.
And
but we're on the road.
And now I'm not saying that this isn't going to evolve into the tribulation and somehow be interconnected.
I believe we're getting pretty close. That's why I put that DVD out on the Pandemic Road.
And here they are, and they'll put them up on the screen. Everybody in the audience needs to get these.
We're on the road headed that way. That tells me, Dan, I'm convinced we're so close to the rapture.
Who knows what's really in this thing that's going inside of us that could be used in the end?
Well, I saw where somewhere overseas they pulled 1.6 million doses of the Moderna because they found some kind of metal inside it, so they had to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Who knows? But that's an irrelevant factor in one sense. It shows us we're on the road that direction.
And don't ever get involved in the mark of the beast. And, of course, if you're saved, you won't be here for it. But
yes. Amen.
Well, Doc, we got to go.
Got to go.
Folks, it's been good being with you, and we'll see you next time. Keep your eyes on the sky.